Okay, welcome to my lesson on how to simplify expressions. Now, expressions are just simply a order of numbers which will equal something when you give the variables in it a value. So, for example, I can put 3x add 2, and so that's going to be worth something if I say x is equal to 1. However, these expressions can be simplified to make them a lot more easier to use. So actually make this one, make this 3, so it works better. So you can simplify an expression to make it easier to use. So 3x add 3, it looks very simple. However, we can put this into brackets to make it a lot easier when we're subtracting, dividing or multiplying. So what we do is we can, first of all, for simple ones like this, we can take the 3 and we see we have 3 times x and 3 just as a 3 as a value, and we can see that the value 3 will factor very nicely into both of these. So we can actually say 3 times x plus 3 is going to equal the same value. And now we can use this to multiply or divide when simplifying it even more when we have fractions. So let me do another example. So I'm going to make it slightly more complicated. So let's say 4ab adds, let's say 2a. So what you have to do is find a value which will factor into both 4ab and the 2a. Now it doesn't have to be the whole of the value, because there's not going to be a value of b in, which is also going to work for 2a, if you see what I mean. So what you can say is that the 2a bit will factor into here. So why don't we just have the 2a on the outside and then multiply the inside by 2a, just by 2b actually. Because what's 2a times 2b? Well, the 2 times 2 is 4, and the a times b is ab. And then we can just multiply this by 1, or not even have this multiplication at all. Oh no, that's going to be a plus, sorry for confusing you there. So let's try another example. The thing is, the best way to learn is just to do plenty of examples. So you can say 9ab plus, let's just say 3. So we've got 3 here. We can also put the 3 into 9ab. So we can say, I've got 3 on the outside here, so we have 3 a b. Now remember, we can't have any a or b here as well, because otherwise we'll get an a squared or a b squared, and it can't be moved over here, because otherwise the second part will reflect the a plus b. So that's why I'm just going to plus 1. So you're going to do 3a times 3ab times 3, which is 9ab, and then we're going to plus 3, plus 1, which is multiplied by 3 to give us 3. Let's do a slightly different expression, and let's add some divides to it. So that was more of factoring expressions. Let's do some simplifying divides. So 9a divided by 3. I'm just going to touch quickly on how to simplify divides. I may create a whole new video for it, because there's quite a lot which goes into it. There's quite a lot of things you have to sort of take into account when doing it. So there's quite a lot of things which can go wrong when you're simplifying divides. So with divides, if if they multiply together, you can simplify them down. For example, I can divide the bottom bit by 3 to just give me a, and then I can multiply the bottom bit by 3 to give me 3a. See how it's cancelled it down? If I had 9a of 1, it would not be possible. That's why I'm saying it has to be a multiple, because you're not just dividing the 9a bit by 3. If this was 9a plus 1, you'll be dividing the plus 1 as well. So that's why you have to be careful. Also, obviously, when you're simplifying, you can add the numbers up. So you get 9 squared plus 2. And when you're adding letters, when it's, say you have a add b plus a, that ab bit is going to be separate from the a, so you can't have 2ab, because you are saying there's going to be 2 b's when you haven't got another b. You're changing the actual value of expression. So just remember, when you're simplifying expressions, you're not actually changing the value of anything. The value's changing the same. You're just changing how you represent the expression. It's like here we changed how we represent it to make it easier to divide or multiply. And here we made it easier to divide by when doing it in our head. And here we made it just easier so it's neater. I mean, 9 squared plus 1 is going to be simpler. It's going to be more complex than 9 squared add 2. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. If you need any help or want to leave some feedback, just send me a message or leave me a comment. If this video helped you learn your maths, please subscribe and like to see you. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.